Leinhäuser Language Services has been providing Panasonic with localization services for 11 years, starting as a translation provider for the Toughbook unit and step by step becoming their go-to agency for a variety of language projects at Panasonic System Communications Europe, known as PSCEU for short. Find out how Leinhäuser helped Panasonic save €1 million per year. Heike Leinhäuser, founder and managing director of Leinhäuser Language Services, a Munich-based company that has proved itself on the market for almost 20 years, spoke to Stephen Yeo, PSCEU marketing director at Panasonic, over the phone about his perception of the translation sector and his personal experience with translation matters during his career. Panasonic is one of the world's largest companies, with approximately 270,000 employees and a turnover of about $70 billion. Based in Osaka, Japan, Panasonic just celebrated its 98th birthday. Although most people see it as a consumer electronics company, 70% of Panasonic's revenue comes from B2B products, like the sector that is represented by our interviewee. But why don't we let Stephen tell us more about Panasonic and its translation requirements?
We have offices in every European country, from Russia to Turkey to Nordic to the UK to Spain, and that language is a really, really big deal to us. We have marketing managers in all of those countries, so if you look at the team that Leinhäuser services, it's approximately, I'm going to say, 70 people, and spread across the whole continent. Every year we translate 1.6 million words into just about every European language.
Here is what Stephen said when we asked him about his previous experience with translations. He describes a typical scenario that many of our customers had struggled with before we developed an interdisciplinary global workflow that helped them manage and steer the ever-growing challenges and volumes within the diverse field of translation.
The typical situation of translation that I've seen in my career is a decentralized and amateur process, so that often just copying and pasting from Word documents, the translation agencies often get changed. The agencies often have a high turnover of staff, or they're using excessive machine translation. All the marketing processes that I have been involved in, I think translation is the most difficult, because it is a highly sensitive result. To a native speaker in a target language, they can spot immediately any issues or defects, and it means that you cannot assess as a manager the quality of the work being done until typically what happens is you get some explosion in a local office where someone is complaining, etc., and it's the first time that you've known about it. The other thing about translation is there is a technical aspect to it. So you get lots of copying and pasting from Word. The issue with that is that you lose the layout of the text, which means that most companies I've worked with will have to re-artwork their material whenever they translate it into a different language, and the re-artworking is often the same cost as the translation itself. So it's a very, what I would call, manual, in English we say clunky and inefficient process. So when I came to Panasonic, I saw all of the things I described, and I introduced Panasonic to Leinhäuser.
So how did Stephen hear about Leinhäuser, and what made Leinhäuser stand out among its competitors? Find out how Panasonic achieved remarkable savings by restructuring their approach to translation processes in the second part of our video series.